Hello and welcome to YourTown TV. Here we are in Monterey once again. And my name is Sofanya. I'm your host today. I'm an artist in Big Sur, where I paint and do my wood carvings, and I've now come out with a line of wearable art, which you can find on my website or Facebook. And mainly, I guess I'm here because I am so excited and honored to share into the world inspiration for creativity and the boldness that it sometimes takes and the fearlessness. And speaking of which, my guest today is one of these powerful women that I've known for a very long time. And we actually have been neighbors for many years. I'm one of the godmothers to her children, which is a great honor. And I've watched her creativity over the years and been so inspired by her. And so I'm now going to introduce you to Janice Rocke.
Hi.
Hi. I'm really kind of, what's the Jewish word, verklempt here to be interviewing you because, I've watched you grow and blossom over the years and really pursue tenaciously everything that you're passionate about. And you're a force to be reckoned with when you're onto something. And your writing is just amazing and very profound. And you've been producing theatrical productions as well as poetry readings on a regular basis for writers from all over the place. You're an amazing creative woman, and so I would love to talk to you first maybe about where your inspiration comes from and then how you channel it.
Well, I'm not really sure where it comes from. I just try to be present in life, and it's just in tune with what's going on around me, and I'll see something and it'll spark an idea. For the show that's coming up that we're going to be doing right now, I was in a very kind of melancholy mood because, as we know, we lost our dear friend Robert. And he used to do, anybody that knows Robert Parko, he would do, for all of my events, he would build things for me for free. He was a very kind-hearted person. And when he passed away suddenly this year, I kind of went into this very introspective and very kind of vulnerable place. And so from that frame of mind, I started thinking about, well, artists are so sensitive and so vulnerable, and so many times in order to complete the conversation that is art. So in other words, if you're a writer, in order to be read, you have to make yourself really uncomfortable and put yourself out there and deal with agents, and if you're a dancer, in order to be seen, you have to be willing to expose yourself that way. There's all these levels of exposure, and for people who are generally sensitive and introspective. And I thought, well, that would be a wonderful thing for people to write about. So I sent out a prompt to several friends of mine, and I said, I want you just to write about the creative experience, but I want you to do it in a conversation with your demon or your demons. And
wow.
Yeah, and I got these very heartfelt, really rich, short pieces. And I've got actors who do the actual readings and dancers who are kind of enacting these things. And that's what I always do. I'll come up with an idea, I'll send out prompts to people, and they send it back, and then I put it together into a full script. And I sometimes make video backdrops. I write myself, and I always have dancers. And this all kind of started because I was a dancer when I was younger. I was a stripper in my 20s, And at the time period when I was a stripper, it was a very abrasive world. And I was too sensitive for it. And I ended up going down kind of a dark road. But at the time, I wanted so much just to be creative and just to be like, come up with these clever ideas. And nobody was really interested, So when I was raising my kids, I went through school. I got my degree in creative writing, and I got to know lots of writers. And I started doing this monthly series at Juice and Java called Curated Words, and that was my first taste of producing. And then I decided to do one of my stories which I wrote about when I was a dancer back in the day, and to have dancers in the story and perform it kind of as a live. You were there over at
MPT?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that was the first one we did.
Well, in another era, many years ago, we had our theater at the Dome Gallery and Theater, and from that moment, you blew my mind, because we would wind up doing a variety show, and you had big ideas and big sets, and in this little house, and we had standing room only. And then I would say, I will never do this again. It's just really insane. And then within a week, you'd come see me with an idea, and then, okay, I can't not do that.
Yeah.
So, but I only bring that up now because there's just this amazing evolution to watch, and that all is sparked by that flame within you from your experiences as a stripper and going down that dark road and facing your demons. And that's how you're able to even now come up with these ideas to inspire others to grow theirs, to share with the world.
Well, that's the joy of it, is that whenever I do one of these events, it's I welcome others to bring their creativity. So I don't come up with an idea and get real rigid about it. I come up with an idea, and it's just a parameter. It's a parameter for other people to build on. And so our process when we put a show together, because I have kind of a group of people that I work a lot with, is very collaborative. And Carrie Newhouse, lovely person, just has been in, I think, every single one of my events. And she's just a gorgeous. Her dancing, and especially it's grown. It's just in 2 years I've seen this beautiful evolution with her dancing. And she's always excited for a challenge. And I'll just, I've had shows where I'm like, okay, in this one, you're a colossal squid who falls in love with a man in a submersible. One of my friends wrote that. It was fabulous. It was a show we did at Henry Miller. But you're also going to be a spider. And then, could you also jump into this other scene with this sparrow?
You don't ask for much.
And she loves it.
Wow, that's nice.
And another performer that I love working with is Monique Rose, and she is like beyond words talented. She's here. I put her on the flyer.
Oh, good.
She's right there.
And this is for your upcoming show.
This is this weekend at Carl Cherry, Friday and Saturday night. And Monique is outrageously talented as an actor. She sings. We did a show at the Dolly 17 Museum in March, and in one scene she played. So I have to tell you first. I had the writers write from the point of view of an inanimate object in a Salvador Dali painting.
Oh.
So someone wrote from the point of view of a cross in a painting called The Temptation of St. Anthony, and where there's like really scraggly saint guys in the corner of the painting holding up a cross. And then there's, of course, elephants with elongated legs, so this thing that this guy wrote was from the point of view of that cross. And so I had another dancer carry Monique onto the stage, and and she was painted as a cross, and she read this very kind of more cerebral, very historically stuff like that. It was had lots of history in it. It was kind of a drier piece, and she was serious in it. And then I had a writer write, with a scene with the melted watch that was very funny and silly, and Monique played that, and she was a total goofball, just had us roaring, laughing at that one. And anyway, so it's a real joy, like to know people, know what they're capable of, and to give them a little something to work with.
Yeah, then they take off.
And then
that.
they just, it's, know which writers to reach out to for which events, who writes what kind of stuff, and then, where to place the dancers, how to use the actors. And also in this one now, I had people write music for this event.
Wow.
I've got a young man, Jetty Grant. He calls himself Mordecai, and he made all these soundscapes for the different readings.
Wow.
So and then also Monique is going to sing, and she sings like an angel. Beautiful.
Wow.
Yeah, it's super exciting just to see it all
I can see that
unfold.
in
It's
you.
just the joy of it, just the collaboration, and to watch it, like, instead of like being tight with it, like, oh, this is my thing. We're open with it.
Wow.
and we all during rehearsals, there's lots of collaboration, and it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
So everyone contributes, and then it becomes, what a beautiful thing, collaboration.
Yeah.
If we, can use that alone as an example in our world today for how we can make a better world. If we could all work together and use each other's diversity and abilities and talents to do that. So, I think it's amazing what you do. And I'm looking forward to coming to that show.
Oh, and your art is in it as well.
Oh, yeah, there is that. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm really honored that you're going to include my art in your show.
Yeah. Well, in the videos.
In the videos, right? In the background.
Yeah, which,
Well, that's cool.
That makes me want to say something. So I'm making these videos of your art for the show, which I've done videos with your art before.
Yes, you have.
And it's really fun because your art is so indicative of the multiverse. There's so much in it. There's all these hidden figures, so you can really explore one of your paintings through video, and it's really fun to do that. And I love making videos. So for this show, I'm making videos, I'm dancing, I'm acting, I've written, I'm producing, and I'm directing, and I'm exhausted.
Yeah. Well, you look beautiful.
And one thing for me that is really hard is dealing with the business side of things. And I just kind of want to put it out there in case anybody is watching who loves the arts and has a history of business and production and is interested. I am looking for a business partner, somebody to handle that side of things, who'd be interested in making this grow into something where it's sustainable. And I've got non-profit status this year.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, it's under Fractured Atlas, which is so they're a kind of a sponsor, a fiscal sponsor. So if I fill out a grant proposal, then I can do it with them as my fiscal sponsor.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but I really, really am deeply desirous of somebody to help me with those things.
Yeah, that's a lot to handle.
Well, it takes a little of the joy out of doing the stuff I love.
And in line with the collaborative, there are people out there who do that so well, and that's their art. And so I'm sure there are probably many people who would love to be a part of your work this way and contribute. So if you're out there and you love the arts,
yeah,
and
you
you
can
have a
find
desire
me
to help. Yeah, how do they find you?
on Facebook at Eclectic Collective.
Okay.
You can just type that in. And
Is there a website too?
We don't have a website yet.
Yeah, but Facebook is great. It's
Yeah,
a wonderful
it's
way
great
to
for networking.
Yeah, networking. And so this upcoming show is at Carl Cherry this weekend, Friday and Saturday night at 7:30. Is that right? So what else are you? Where do you see this going in the future?
Well, I'd like to see it. Ideally, it would be wonderful to have our own space and to be able to just, do events regularly at our own space. But, we went up to San Francisco last weekend and we did Lit Crawl, which is a citywide event where they have writers reading their work like in all these different venues all over the city, and they give you a little pamphlet and you can find out so-and-so is reading here and so-and-so is reading here. So we got the opportunity this year to perform up there, and I brought 3 dancers and there were 3 writers, and I just did an excerpt of this show and we performed it up there. So that's something that would be fun to do, is to maybe do some shows in some other places, but that requires a place to rehearse, and there's so many logistical considerations, and I'm also on the verge of publishing my book.
That's what I wanted to ask you about too.
Yeah, so I'm going to. I'm very bad about sending out query letters, and I've only sent about 10 since I've finished my book, which is, you have to send tons of them to get anything. So I decided to go a different route, and because I wrote my book, it's 13 chronologically sequential short stories. And I decided what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them on Amazon one at a time. And as soon as I do that, I'm going to kind of have a launch party event, and I'm going to redo that show that we did, that one you saw. It's called Imagine, and it fully takes place in the dressing room of the Mitchell Brothers Theater in San Francisco back in the late 80s, when I was extremely young. I'm really looking forward to your book coming out, because this has been a long time coming, and I've been really excited about that. And whether it's in chapter forms or however you do it, please keep us posted on that. I will.
Unfortunately, I think we're kind of running out of time, but thank you so much, Janice.
Oh, thank you so
Janice
much.
Rocke,
This has
extraordinary, and looking forward to your show, this one and future shows too.
Oh, good.
Thank you.
Living in the underground entails risk.